These next clips happened in the last 6 days. Watch.
We begin this afternoon with some breaking news in Montclair, New Jersey, where a police officer was shot. Newscopter 7 over the scene in Forest Street just a short time ago. You can see several evidence markers and crime spree tape around the house there.
New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson is live in Montclair with the breaking details. Anthony.
Yeah, we started getting reports about this around 2:30 this afternoon. That's when we understand a police officer, a Montclair police officer, went up to a residence. He had an encounter with a person that lives inside of that residence, and then all of a sudden a shot was fired. We understand from inside the house, striking that police officer. Police did return fire at the time, so both the police officer and the person inside, they were both injured.
The cops in Memphis weren't so lucky.
In Memphis today, a police encounter with 2 teenagers ended in a hail of bullets. An officer was killed along with an 18-year-old suspect. And we are learning tonight that that teenager was recently released from jail.
In the U.S. so far this year, 34 other officers have died in the line of duty, with 11 killed by gunfire.
The Dems are so against the banning guns, but they're letting everyone out that gets caught with guns out. So
right, they want to ban guns, but right, exactly. Yeah, well, this happened in Syracuse.
But we begin with breaking news. There has been a police shooting in upstate New York. Our CBS affiliate in Syracuse says multiple officers were shot in Liverpool. That's about 5 miles out from Syracuse.
A very sad update, a grim update, as Upstate Hospital now is the scene of tragedy. Those 2 officers, one city officer, one sheriff's deputy, taken to the hospital with serious injuries, now succumbing to those injuries and passing away, according to a source close with the investigation.
To find these clips, to find reporting on these officers shot, I had to go sometimes to the very, very, very local news to get it. I mean, it's not widely broadcast. It's crazy. My nephew went to the police academy, became a cop. He was shot in the first 2 weeks on the job, and he quit in about a month after that. Thank God he's okay. Thank God. Anyone who tries to shoot a cop should have death penalty. Well, it used to be that way in New York. Not anymore. It's okay for illegals to have guns per Democratic judge. Yeah. Wow, this is frightening and terrible. It's true. Good to have you with us, Martin Lee. I also think the Dems are fine with it because it's mostly Black communities that are killing each other, and they are racist and want them to kill each other. Well, I mean, it's amazing to me that the highest, the demographic with the highest abortion rate are Black babies getting killed, and nobody's carrying on about that except for white Christians, right? That's the driving force against the abortion, and the lives that they're trying to save are Black and Hispanic babies. So go think about that. Okay, so this is something that was all over every news station. It was Dexter Reed, a gentleman that was stopped by police for a seatbelt violation that ultimately wound up dead. 92, I think it was, shots fired, and all of the news carried it, condemning the police officers. But guess what happened? After an investigation, they found out that he shot first. Watch.
26-year-old Dexter Reed was driving in his white SUV back in the middle of March when police came upon his vehicle in plain clothes. According to a report just issued by COPA, which is the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, those officers came to his car purportedly wearing a seatbelt violation. That was allegedly the reason for the police approaching Mr. Reed's vehicle. What happened in the ensuing 90 seconds is 96 shots were fired within 41 seconds of time. There is an exchange, and we're about to play this for you. We have edited out some of the vulgarity from the exchange. This shows the officers coming up on Mr. Reed's vehicle, asking him to come out of his vehicle. COPA today is saying that, and I want you to think about this as you're watching it, that it appears Mr. Reed fired first. The video does not make that abundantly clear, but COPA, who has been working through this video over a series of weeks, says that indeed the suspect fired first.
Roll the window down. What are you doing?
Roll this one down.
Roll that one down too.
This one down.
Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay.
Do not roll the window up.
Hey.
Lock the doors now. Unlock the doors now. Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now. 1164 David, shots fired, shots fired. Hey!
And that is just the beginning of the shooting. Again, 96 shots fired within the span of just 41 seconds. COPA's analysis of this video indicates that the man behind the wheel there, 26-year-old Dexter Reed, indeed fired first.
I mean, first off, you run a license plate, you run the person who's registered to, you can see who's driving the car. And obviously the cops ran, so the shots were fired first. You don't shoot and then run.
But the thing that the nuance, and you're right about everything you just said, but the nuance here is that the actual killing of Dexter Reed was broadcast on every news channel, whether it's conservative or liberal or whatever. The fact that he shot first was only broadcast on the local CBS in Chicago. So if you didn't live in Chicago, you weren't hearing that Dexter Reed shot first. They never follow up, right? They were going to George Floyd this guy. And, and here,
But
this is
do you notice how it disappeared?
Yeah, exactly. Disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Yes. So once again, it's our liberal media screwing with the heads of Americans. No, maybe Jen can run around in a superhero costume, but I could not. That would be a crime. Suicide by cop. Yeah, I don't know, Ralph. I don't know. I mean, the guy, brought a gun to a festival. Why would you do that? Democrats defund and disarm them. Yep. Why isn't there an outrage by chiefs of police that their men are being massacred? Because at the end of the day, cops work for mayors. And, we're seeing mayors of liberal mayors are the ones who are actually defunding police. I mean, I don't understand what the situation is. Don't they understand that if their citizens are unsafe, they're not going to get reelected? They're just not. There'll always be somebody else. And yes, it is an insane cycle that, especially of big cities, usually it's Democrats taking the place of Democrats. Like they booted out Lori Lightfoot, and then they replaced her with somebody that's 10 times more liberal than she is. So, I mean, we have to get our heads out of Kim Kardashian's ass and start researching. But this, the media doesn't help. And we'll have something. Katie Couric, I've got a clip from Katie Couric, actually a little later, talking about how the media has become biased. Okay, Joan will fight crime. Letitia will just drive the Batmobile.